So today we're once again going to talk about people talking about Stoicism or an interview from the dailystoic.com site. The link is always going to be down in the description. So if you want to check it out, please check it out and read it on yourself if I am just not able to read today, which could be the case. I don't know. But we'll see. Today's guest is Kevin Rose. And he's going to talk apparently about fasting, cold showers, and loving one's craft, which are all things that I'm practicing, besides the loving one's craft thing. I do fast, and I'm actually currently in my fast, and I'm also taking cold showers. And I also try to progress in those areas as well. With the fasting, not really, I'm just having my 16 hours. I'm not just trying to extend that because, it could interfere with other things that I'm willing to do and stuff like that. So, the cold showers, yesterday I've bumped it up plus 1 minute. So I'm currently at 3 minutes before just having 1 to 2 minutes warm shower, and then having again 2 minutes of a cold shower, which leaves me with 5 minutes. 3 plus 2 is 5 in total of cold showering, which might not be that much, but I also actually do want to try out a cold bath, or ice bath. I do want to see how much that is like fucking me, to be honest. Kevin Rose is one of the most prominent and prolific technologists in Silicon Valley. He famously founded Digg, D-I-G-G, in his early 20s and later went on to invest in almost every major tech company in the last decade. From Foursquare to Twitter to Facebook, most recently he left New York City and moved back to California to join a venture capital firm after stepping down as CEO of Houdinki, an online wristwatch magazine. Aside from his investment and entrepreneurial success, Kevin's other outlets include Foundation, an online video series where he interviewed Silicon Valley leaders, including Elon Musk, his monthly email newsletter, The Journal, and his own podcast, The Kevin Rose Show, where he goes deep with fellow geeks from all walks of life. So he definitely has some connections, I'm not gonna lie. Kevin has also shown a deep fascination with philosophy, or for philosophy, especially Eastern, and has been a proponent of both fasting and cold showers as means of achieving resilience, self-discipline, and mental clarity. We reached out to Kevin to ask more about his philosophy of life, favorite exercise, and how was he first exposed to Stoicism, the benefits of fasting and cold exposure, as well as learning more about the curiosity about the East. So enjoy. And I think it is going to be a very interesting, but kind of rather short interview, but still pretty amazing. One of Seneca's recommended practices for building resilience and conquering fear is through setting aside a certain amount of time to practice difficulty, which might be living in poverty, which might be just not having something that you normally would have. One of those, of course, is fasting. You've been such a strong proponent of fasting that you built an app around it. Aside from the health benefits, do you find there's a philosophical component to it? What does the process bring out for you? So fasting, and this is his answer, fasting, especially multi-day, can be quite the emotional roller coaster. At first, I thought I could use willpower, but the gnawing feeling of hunger quickly depletes this. From here, you have nothing left to do but surrender to it. Around this time, the body begins to adapt, entering ketosis, and you start to regain your mental clarity. The fasting process wakes up the body and provides a challenge with a new set of feelings to appreciate. But of course, there's also some benefits in terms of health benefits. People say like growth hormones are just increasing, then also your just fats burning ability is increasing. Like there's many sort of things that people say that fasting is doing. I feel really good fasting, and I am mostly doing it because of me being able to save time. I wake up, do my workout, and then I'm just ready to do some other shit and actually do quite everything that I want to do before I have my first meal. And am I mentally clearer? Well, I don't know. I actually can't tell because I would have to eat something in the morning, or just I would have to break my fast to see what difference I can notice. To do so, it's the exact same thing with meditation. I would have to not meditate on some days so that I can actually see whether it's actually helping me or not. But I think in total it is a pretty cool thing. I do see the benefits, but I've also seen other people being like, well, without intermittent fasting, I am able to just have a better physique because I'm able to just eat more and stuff like that. So following on that, you've also strongly recommended cold exposure and had tremendous positive experience with it. I feel like the Stoics would have been proponents of a cold shower in the morning, if only as a test of self-discipline. Is that something you found in it as well? Almost everyone hates the cold. When I tell friends about the showers and ice baths, the number one reaction is, I could never do that. I can't stand the cold. My feeling is that technology, primarily the conditioning of air, both hot and cold, has made us soft. We are kept in constant comfort. I try to incorporate practices in my life that mimic our ancestors' environments and their daily challenges. This can be simple things like walking in the rain without a jacket or wearing my sandals in a December snow when I take the dog out in the mornings. Which I thought about that. I thought about something quite similar. But the problem that I'm having is my fear of getting ill and just getting a cold and all this shit. I really don't want to have that. It's really something that I want to ditch, and it is really something that I don't want to have. And so it is quite difficult for me to really also act on it then. There's a lot of ways in which I'm fucking myself on a daily basis, whether it is by dieting, whether it is by fasting, whether it is by just maybe some workouts that are, maybe a little bit too much, and all sorts of things. And I don't know. It's difficult. Tell us about your introduction to Stoicism. Was it through Tim Ferriss, or do you remember your first encounter? I remember dinner where Tim was wearing hideous shoes. Being a good friend, I proceeded to comment on how ridiculous an 80s businessman they were. He laughed and said that this was by design. He was learning how to embrace criticism and not fear what others think of him. This was based on his reading of Stoic philosophy. It was this combined with quotes in your book, Ego is the Enemy, that pushed me to learn more. Happen to have any favorite Stoic quotes or exercises? One thing I practice daily is surrender. I try to surrender to the earth as everything unfolds around me, not judging it by accepting things as they are. Amor fati, love faith. This, of course, is easier said than done. One of my favorite quotes is from philosopher Alan Watts. To have faith is to trust yourself to the water. When you swim, you don't grab hold. You grab hold of the water, because if you do, you will sink and drown. Instead, you relax and float. Which, by the way, is pretty nice. I'm curious if you have any thoughts to why Stoicism seems to be particularly popular these days with tech folks. Obviously, someone like Tim has helped introduce it there, but if there wasn't something resonating, we wouldn't be hearing so much about it. It is difficult to say. Many technologists first enter tech out of curiosity. For example, how does this machine work? I think that's just a love of learning. As I get older, I find myself extending this love for learning to exploring my psyche and improving as a human. Stoicism is a great prompt to kick off deep work and personal development as well. Which I would definitely say so as well. I remember reading that one of your favorite books is Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, and I wanted to chat a bit about Eastern philosophy. Following you, I've been impressed with the fact that you are an avid student of the East. You regularly go to Japan, clearly love tea, and there are always these really fascinating references to Japan in the journal. What is that draws you to the Eastern ways of thinking? Do you see any commonalities between the schools? One time while visiting Tokyo, I witnessed a man hand cleaning his mailbox for 15 minutes. He had a cloth and was slowly polishing it, making sure to clean out every groove. This appreciation for one's property, along with taking pride in one's duties, I find a rarity in the West, which is definitely the case. I've always geeked out on things, going deep and learning as much as I can about topics I care about. The Japanese take this to the extreme. You'll meet very specific artisans that are the absolute best at what they do, no matter how trivial your task may seem. It is not about money or fame, but the love of the craft. This is the way it should be. And since you asked me about tea, I'll leave you with this. Drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if it is the axis on which the world's earth revolves. Slowly, evenly, without rushing toward the future. Tish Nya Han. Follow Kevin Rose on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, blah, 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 blah. And this is actually it with it. But I do have to say something. I have quite recently found a YouTube channel which is called Chocolate Cacao, I think, if I'm not quite wrong. And he's making cooking videos, or more or less baking videos. Actually, both. He began also just, cooking meat and stuff like that. And but at this point of time, it is more like baking, I would argue. The thing is, he's doing quite a lot of things with cacao and chocolate. This is why he's called chocolate cacao. Also the savory things. He's just trying to add that with, for example, cacao salt. Very interesting things, and they are very well done from a quote-unquote design perspective and or aesthetic perspective. You know, he's using very aesthetic camera angles. He's just having great edits of, you know, how he's setting up everything, and also the color grading. Everything is really nice and really it feels really high quality, and which includes that he's not uploading a video every single day, but it's rather like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and so on. But I'm really fine with that. But what I want to say is that he's doing everything so slowly and determined, and it is insane. It really is. If he's cleaning the fucking bowl, he's cleaning the fucking bowl. He's just taking everything out of it. There's nothing left in the bowl, which is, by the way, something that I tremendously appreciate, because I hate wasting food, and I hate wasting quite a lot of things, but especially food. I think, no, and if I'm eating something, I'm gonna just take quite every single portion of it that I can. You know, I'm not gonna waste quite anything, which is also something that he's doing. But in general, he's doing everything really slow, but not slow in a negative way, not slow in a just counterproductive way, but slow in a way that he really makes sure that everything is really nice. You know, like just something that is I don't know what it's called. Fuck. Something that is edged is fucking edged. The edge is fucking just straight. There's no fucking curve in it. There's no fucking nothing in it. He's just making everything really cleanly and nicely and amazing. And I actually, can I show you? I actually do want to show you something. Chocolate cacao, and I'm probably not writing this correctly. And if I go to videos, maybe I can show you some things. No, I've just clicked something that I didn't want to click. Want to go to videos, please. Or is it cacao chocolate? Probably is. Cacao chocolate YouTube. Maybe I'm gonna find it in that way. No, I won't. So yeah. Oh, I do. And well, it's actually chocolate cacao. I'd actually like to show you, but my system isn't working at this point. So I am gonna show you afterwards when everything is loaded and everything is ready to go. And you can even see by the thumbnails what, can I now do this? No. There you go. You can see, I mean, just look at this. And it is actually the real cake that he made. And he cut every single piece of fruit on a separate just instance or whatnot. And also just the perfectness of how the crust is. You know, it is insane. And just have a look at this. Everything is really perfect. Everything is really aesthetic, and everything is really well done. And as you can see, it's a lot about baking and stuff like that. If you're interested in it, it is something that I can tremendously, well, it's actually every week. Every week there's a video. Tremendously recommend. They are amazing videos. There's no text, there's no voice. It is more or less some ASMR thing, but it's not just, I don't know if this is intentionally done, but he also knows his craft. And this is something that you can see by having a look at something like this or that. He knows what he's doing. And I would think, and I would say that he's actually doing this on a professional level, that he is actually a pastry chef, or however you call it, or a chef in general. But yeah, he's doing amazing work, as you can see. And everything looks so aesthetic and is also very well done. And you can also consume these videos very well. They are not that short. I mean, it's 10, 12, 13, 15 minutes, something like that. 17 minutes as I'm seeing like that, right there. But they're really well done. And I'm just totally seeing this Japanese or Asian love for the craft in there. And this is why I'm also pointing it out. But yeah, I'm going to end the episode there. So I wish you the best health, of happiness, and all success. And I also hope that you're going to write yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then also being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking important and also cool thing. 3 other questions that I have for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a really cool thing. yeah, one other question that I'm actually having for you is, what could you particularly say to another person that is really going to change their life? Because I totally believe that we all could say something to another person that is going to make their day. I really believe in that. And whether it's something small, like, okay, you've really done a good job, but you have to be specific, you know? You really have to be specific about that. You know, don't be like, well, you did this very well, and then feel good about yourself, you know? If the other person is feeling good, then you can feel good about yourself as well. If it is not the case, then just there's no quite reason, if you understand what I mean. But yeah, anyway, I'll hopefully see you next time. Please stay safe and healthy, you and your family and all your loved ones. I really hope from the bottom of my heart that this is going to be the case, and it is the case. But yeah, I'll see you. Bye-bye.